Alright, this is an overall tutorial for restreaming an online marathon. We're going to be using OBS Studio since it's way better than everything else. And first thing to get started, we're going to make a new profile and scene collection just to make sure that we actually have something completely separate to your normal streaming stuff. So we'll make a new profile, scene collection. And when you do this, it'll reset all your settings to the default. So we can go into settings, and you'll have to set, like, you know, your stream key, your bit rate, all these sort of things, whatever you decide that you're able to actually handle. And the audio devices will get disabled, so make sure to turn on your mic and desktop audio if you're going to be actually talking on stream at all, or being in Discord or anything like that. So all those are set up. Hotkeys we might come back to later if you want. So here we are. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a scene just for the basic stuff that I'll be reusing a lot. So in my layout thing, I'm going to take 4x3 and 16x9 layouts just because easy, and you can literally drag and drop them onto here. So here's like all the layouts I have. I just drag and drop the ones I want. So this one is 4x3, so we're going to rename this layout 4x3. Oh, apparently that name is already in use. Apparently it's okay. Okay, marathon 4x3. Apparently those names are used across all of your scene collections. Are you? I guess, sure. So marathon 16x9. So those two things. I also have live split here ready to go. Set up how we want it to look in the thing. So we do what live or timer, capture live split. We don't really need the cursor at all. And then you can do like filters, like your color key. Boom, there. Similarity, smoothness, whatever you want. Make it look nice. There you go. So those are all ready to be reused, which is great. You're gonna be reusing them a lot, so it's ideal. Next up, you probably need your intermission scene, which you'll be coming back to between all your different runs. So image for that, again, just drag and drop. Good enough. Shots fired. This one, we're not going to be reusing this in other places, so you don't really need to worry about that. You'll probably want to add text for, like, upcoming run. Yeah, sure. Good enough, I don't care. We'll deal with that later. So now we need to actually set up the scenes for all the different marathon runs that you're going to do. So I'll first set one up. You want a unique scene for every single run that you're going to be doing, and the reason for that is because the sources that you're doing, if you want to be smart and like, oh, just use one layout, well, if you change a source, it'll change it everywhere that source exists. So if you only have one single 16x9 scene, then whenever you update the text, it'll update it for every single 16x9 game, and that's not great. So we're going to do one scene per game. Oops, not slideshow. We're going to add in image, existing. So we have, wait, what? Huh. Okay, I think this is just bugging out. It's fine. OBS Studio is still better than everything else. So marathon 16x9, that's our layout. You can just add the existing, it'll put it right in. Now for the most annoying part, we have to start entering in the text. And the text we need to manually create every single time, because unfortunately, as of right now, there is no way to actually copy and paste scene or sources. So we're gonna have to go through and fill out all these things. And also, you should probably have like a spreadsheet that shows you all the different, like, here's all your information that you're going to need. Here's the text settings that we're going to be using, whatever. Just have that handy so you can quickly refer to that. So you can just like, yeah, we're using like American Captain. The runner is Sajiki. And then our text color is, you know, whatever. You might have a gradient if you want to do that. You might have an outline. Maybe change the alignment, whatever the settings you want. Just have them all written down so whenever you add another text source, you know, and you go through every single one. And you put them all in. So there's your thing. It'll stick to the bottom whenever you're close, so if you hold control, it won't do that. And one other thing is if you have like these boxes that you're fitting into it, instead of just having like a freeform open area, one annoying thing is like you can see it scales only diagonally. But if you go to transform and enter transform, this bounding type, you can scale it to the inner bounds, and that'll mean it'll scale to fit like both width and height. So it'll always like fit as large as it can without stretching in any direction. So you can use that to like specifically fit within the box, and it'll automatically size it for you. That is something that is extremely useful. So it's right in the middle there. We can move it over here and it'll be centered with that area. That's one of the most useful things I've found. So then we have to go through and add all the different things. So another text. This is the Medj game. So you do the same thing. American Captain. This one. Here is Edge. Cool. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have a new line in there. That's no good. Do color, all that stuff, whatever. You can also right click up here to do transform, inner bounds, cool. Hold control, put it in here, do the stuff, make it centered, cool. Nice and perfectly centered in there. We also want to do the timer, which we already have existing. We already have the filter applied. We don't have to worry about it at all. We can just, you know, do the same thing. This one you probably don't want to scale to inner bounds, because usually live split actually looks better if it's just aligned to the side rather than right in the center. So this one you can actually just leave as the normal one and just size it. Whoop, that's not what I wanted. Put that back. This over here. Sure. And then you add in your estimate and whatever. So next up we have to add the actual stream itself, obviously. So OBS has this really useful thing called media source. And what this does is let us actually add it directly as a video feed rather than having to capture like a window that you have open with the stream on it. And that's way more useful than managing a whole bunch of windows. So I have my list of runners here with like these rtmp URLs. I'll put in the description how to get these things. They're pretty straightforward. So media source, it's not a local file because we're doing it from the internet. We don't care about the other options yet. So it'll take a couple seconds, but it'll come on. I'm going to mute it just for the sake of whatever. And here we have Mr. Sajiki doing a run. Isn't that nice? So you position it, you resize it. You probably want to put it underneath the layout, just in case your layout's not perfectly the right ratio. Like this one is slightly too thin. So this way there's no gaps. You can also, you know, go into filters. You can add like a cropping or whatever. Cropping or a padding if you want to. You can adjust its position, pixel perfect if you want. I think somewhere. You can at least hit the arrow keys to move it up, down, left, right. Another thing when you're positioning it, useful thing, you can do this if you right click on OBS, you can do full screen projector, and that literally just like puts the stream. Oh, this did it on the source, not the whole thing. I want this, not on the source, the entire thing. Full screen projector, and if you have another monitor, you can just use this to adjust the picture or each source or whatever very slightly. That really helps for positioning. So we now have this media source in here, and one of the most annoying things is audio. And luckily, this media source gives us really powerful audio controls. So right now it's muted. If I unmute it, I still can't hear it. That's because by default, it's only going to the stream, and I can't actually hear what it's doing. Obviously, that's no good, because I need to be able to tell if the audio is balanced. So if you click on your mixer here, see runner 1, audio is currently, or the monitor is off. If we do monitor and output, this means it'll go to the stream and we'll also be hearing it right now. So now we can hear Sajiki. Clearly this is too loud. Let's just lower his volume. It's a nice volume bar right here. Alright, so that's... Alright, that sounds good. We can switch it back to monitor off, which means the stream can still hear it. It'll still go. If I was recording this, then we'd be able to hear both my voice and the stream right now, but obviously we don't have to worry about that. And that's all great. Cool. Amazing. And typically you'll have all of your scenes like created already, because it's way easier to have them all ready to go beforehand. But just in case you don't, there's a little bit that we can go through to just make one while something's... Whoops, I just clicked on start recording. Whatever, it's fine. So we're going to open up studio mode and we're going to create a new scene. We'll just call it Medge 2 because we're just going to use Sajiki again for fun. But we're going to pretend that this is a 4x3 one because why not? What? Hello? Oh, I clicked on it. Right, these weird broken ones. I don't know what happened there. But anyway. So, the right side, this is still streaming. The audio is still going through. We don't have to worry about this at all. Oh yeah, another thing. You should probably have these two muted while this is going on. So the only thing that's actually going to stream is the runner's audio. So we set up this thing. You know, you do your text thing again. Medge 2 runner, you do the whole thing, set the things, yada yada yada, you know. Same kind of drill. Make sure you go through the list and you do everything right. There you go. Do the transform and whatever. Now we want to add another media source. Runner 2 we'll call it. Go copy my URL again. So this one is not going to be put on the active scene. So that means it's not actually going to appear, or it's not going to appear automatically because it's not active, and it's also not going to pipe sound to the actual stream. So if we, I guess this one you turn off, or is it the other one? Can't remember. I like just did this. I think it's the other one. Restart playback when source becomes active. Yeah, that makes more sense. See this delay is slightly different just because they're grabbing the stream separately. But yeah. So turn off, restart playback when source become active. That means it'll, when it's not active, which is right now, it'll actually turn on. So we're gonna do this. Let's pretend this is 4x3. You can still do, you know, good old-fashioned crop if you want to. With this layout, it doesn't matter because it'll just be cut off anyway. So that's fine. But yeah, you probably just want to do something like crop 4x3 and crop off the right by like 500 and some pic. No, it won't be that much. Whatever amount of pixels. And then, hey, look, you can do the or was it transform, edit transform, bounding box again. And you can set it to this thing and it centers it. Again, how convenient. It's almost as if all these things were planned. Anyway, the problem with this thing is we can't, since this source is not actually active, we cannot test its audio right now. So we'll have to do that right before we put them live, which is slightly unfortunate, but it'll only take a second anyway, so it's not too bad. So you want to put this back to, just for safety, put this back to only turn on when it's active. And we need to go to the intermissions, upcoming fast. No, upcoming is actually faster. That's the next run that's happening. And alright, so this run, whatever time it ends, we go to intermission. You just say, hey, thanks, Sajiki, for running the video game. Up next is Sajiki running the same video game. And now when you switch to Midge 2, it'll add the audio source here, which we're going to mute. It's going to reload it because it just came active. And real quick, we're going to go to the mixer. Runner 2, we only want monitor only. So the stream can't hear it right now. Only we can hear it. So right now we can make sure it's actually a decent sound. It sounds great. Cool. Alright, cool. This will be good. And we can say, okay, putting your audio live now. And probably switch it to both monitor and output, so now stream can hear it and we can hear it, just to make sure when they're starting that it actually makes sense. And also to start the timer. And then once this is all good, if you want to do something else, you can switch this back to monitor off, and stream will go on. And a really nice thing about this setup, now since the only thing that you actually have piping to stream is this specific audio source, and it's only to stream, it's not monitored, you can do something like jump inside of Discord with the current runner and read donations, and you'll be talking to them in real time, and the audio going to stream will be from their stream, so their game sound will still be synced up, and their conversation will still be synced up with you, which is super convenient. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that matters. I'll just show a couple nice little things. Do I have... hold on. 1 second. I'm just gonna grab something I forgot about. Just put this over here. Here it is. Okay. So one nice little thing, whoops, turn on that. One nice little thing that you can do, this upcoming text whatever is nice. Say you want something fancier. So we'll go to studio mode while this is going on. Say I want to capture a little bit of a preview of the next run. So I can do either media source if you have a local file to show off, or we can do window capture and do upcoming run. And now I have, oh, whoops, sorry, that's not what I wanted. I'm silly. I don't want a window capture. I want to do a browser source. So this will just be the upcoming run. So what I want is this YouTube URL. This YouTube URL. This embed URL with a certain start time and autoplay. And we'll do like 1920, or not 1920, that's too big. 1280 by 720. Hell yeah, 60 FPS. Shut this down when it's not visible, so it'll just turn itself off. So now this is too big, but we'll say upcoming. Here's our upcoming run. And that'll autoplay and it's whatever. So now once we're done with this thing, and we switch over to intermission, it'll load up this YouTube video automatically and start playing at the point that you say say, yeah, hey, here's the upcoming run, and then you can just like move on to the next thing. And studio mode, switch this to whatever other thing that you want for the run after, which is pretty nice. So the only other thing it's useful to be aware of is just in case something bad happens, I'll just do another medj back to 16:9. Just in case something explodes with the media source, which shouldn't happen, but it's nice to have a backup. You can add a browser source instead. So this is like backup runner 1, we'll call that thing. So our URL, we're going to keep using Sajiki. This time we're going to use this embedded Beam Pro. It's 1280 by 720 because it's 16:9. This will actually give us the stream as if you capturing it in a window, but it'll just be inside of OBS and we don't have to worry about capturing a window. So this is like just in case the video source doesn't work, or for some reason you have something that actually doesn't work with the media source. And we can treat it basically the same. The downside of this thing is that you don't have these separate audio controls, so you can't have this thing like playing audio to the stream while you're talking to them in Discord or something like that. And the only other thing is to adjust the volume. You can go to interact, and this will actually like let you play with it, so you can like change the volume there. You can't actually interact with it up here. You have to right click and do interact here. This is the only way. Yeah, that's basically it. The main good thing is media sources are great. Use them. Bounding boxes are cool. And audio is fun. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. This is like a 20-minute long video, but that's fine, I'm sure. It's nice and comfy, whatever. Yeah. Everybody make sure check out Hackathon starting on this weekend. I'm sure most of the people watching this will have missed it by a lot. And Shots Fired coming sometime in June. Shots Fired 4. Thanks, everybody. See you later. Follow my Twitch.